Hello everyone, this is an Unkindness of Shadows by John Linwood Grant. The Strange Encounters of Justin Margrave right there. Now, I bought this about a year ago watching Roy Reads Anything, which I highly recommend. Him and his wife are so charming to watch and listen to talk about books. I was binge reading Dresden at the time, and that being a magic detective, that's what this sounded like. So I said, well, I'm going to get more of that. Only by the time I got done reading Dresden and all caught up, I needed a little genre switch. But I had already purchased this, so this has been sitting around here for about a year now. So I thought, high time I got to it. So just this past week, I was watching it's a booktube channel called Dragons and Aliens, Sci-Fi and Fantasy with Jay and Simon. And they were talking about Dune. And one of the chapters in their video discussed the homophobia inherent in Dune by Baron Harkonnen, our lead villain. Now, I had heard of this, but never delved into it, even though I read this book many years ago. I just never dived into the, what's the homophobia in Dune, and did he really mean to put that in there? And surely he did. It turns out, as they explained, he, in his own biography, said, I'm a full-on homophobe. And it turns out one of his kids was gay, and he had nothing to do with him anymore. So a tragic tale there, but the reason this pertains, well, Baron Harkonnen is, in his words, a representation of homosexuality, but he's a full-on sadistic pedophile. And the reason this intertwines with this is simply because we start with the first story where our MC here has to deal with a local crime lord who is himself a bloated pig. And he doesn't want to have to deal with him. But he does point out this one redeeming quality that he has, and that's that in his domain, there are men who come to prey upon children that way. And this crime lord will dismiss them, get rid of them, run them off. And that was it. And so we have this sort of anti-Baron Harkonnen moment in here. And with that, Margrave actually expresses that, he, aside from the obvious horror of doing that to children, it's also this double whammy that it makes the homosexual community look really bad. And so he was happy about this one thing that this crime lord did that was actually good for people. And so on it goes. So in reading Dresden and John Constantine, this is not quite the same. This man is not a detective at all. He is an art critic, and but he keeps finding himself in rather strange situations. He's a bit of a weirdness magnet. The structure of the book is set up something like you would see in The Illustrated Man. He meets with a couple people. They want to hear stories. He sits down and talks to them, and he has these little interludes with them throughout the book while he tells them these strange tales. In here you will find, for example, I don't know, what happens when a man is shown what he could have been and how it breaks him. In another, there is a, how shall I call it, a female revenge for history, where a place of power, it's actually a place of dread and horror, but they use that power to defend themselves against whatever comes their way in their neighborhood. In another yet, it's actually probably my favorite. Now this one, a lot of these stories are not what you would call high magic. Dresden and John Constantine, they're out to either save the world or the universe in some cases with John Constantine. But here we have this one, the children of angles and corners. And these are spirits who are held at bay by various ways to block them out of our reality. But they kind of punch their way in, and they're like little gremlins in a way. bad things happen here, murder happens there, an accident happens there. And so they have found a way to get back in, and sitting right in the middle of course, is Margrave. There are other people in the world who are more aware of these mystical comings and goings, and so they enlist him and use him as a tool. I won't spoil this, but there is a purpose for Justin Margrave and why he is such a magnet for the macabre and the strange. There's a connection too with the people he sits down to for these interludes. Something like, I don't know, 99% of the characters in this book are gay. This is, I believe the author is as well, and this is a nice commentary on people just doing good things for each other. I will say that Justin Margrave himself, in places he becomes, he actually, it's that he can seem like such a bit of a pompous ass. If the wine's not good, he'll let you know. But right along with that, this is nice, good character writing because of the strange things that he encounters, because he realizes there's horrid mystical danger out there trying to essentially eat the world. He's sort of humbled because of it. So he's not this overbearing jerk. He's not, I can't even call him particularly arrogant. He just has his tastes and his likes, and he'll let you know. But he's actually a rather cordial individual. And just a really good book. It's only, I must have took my time because I read the 800-page chunker Dungeon Crawler Carl book, and it took me all week. I really had to put an effort with the time that I have. This, for some reason, is only 250-some pages. It still took all week to really read it. And so I think I took my time and relaxed a bit, taking a easier read. So next week, this actually came up as a advertisement on Pinterest, which I usually ignore, but I saw this cover in this book and decided to get it. Plasma Pulp. This edited by Law Dog. I have no idea who that is and why that's just one name, Law Dog. Another short story. So we got short story collection here, short story collection here. Interplanetary Evil, ray guns, swords, good guys who are good, bad guys who are bad, and beautiful damsels. Plus, Max Van Sydow and Brian Blessing cheerfully gnawing on the scenery. If you're of a certain generation, you read the subtitle to this in a certain voice. Up until then, my reading was Edgar Rice Burroughs and Robert E. Howard, but I started trying to find more of what I had seen in that movie, discovering the comic books, and later my delight, the novels. Unfortunately, as things go, the Interplanetary Evil Empire, swords, ray guns, kind of pulp fell out of favor, and it's hard to find anyone writing it these days. Well, when you have a publishing house, turns out you can do something about that. Okay, that's funny. So there we go. Well, that's it for next week. Go and pick yourself up. I love that cover so much. So pick that out, read that. This is coming up next week, and I will see you then. Bye-bye now.